connecting. All righty. You know what? I'm going to just pull it up on my computer. Because in theory, we live, but let's.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I must be coming through on the headphones. I. Excuse you.
Do I need to mute you for a second, sir?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we are officially. Technically, we are live by what I see here. So, hello, everyone.
Hello.
We
Let
are
me.
figuring. It's a late stream. Things have. We'll get to it. We're starting late tonight, and I think Anthony is double checking his settings and such.
Test check 1 2.
Oh my,
How's my
yeah,
volume?
that's a lot better. It's,
Yeah, it was using the webcam microphone.
Okay. Yeah.
How about we use the nice microphone I spent money on?
That XLR mic, the clean audio sound.
Yes.
Okay, so normally I would do a little pre-show setup, but we've done a bit of pre-show, but we are where we are. So,
The joys of doing it live.
just doing it live. So, hello everyone and welcome to the 11th live and late episode of Just Doing What We Do. I'm your man Michael, and up there is my guy Anthony. Today, we're going to be catching up on life. It's been a couple weeks since we last talked. Sipping on some Mountain Dew. And diving into the gaming, entertainment, and technology news that stood out to us over these past couple weeks.
Yes. So there's a script. I had it behind everything. So if your vibe is good conversations, chatting about entertainment, hearing about our occasional do reactions, and connecting with us, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join the conversation in the comments.
Yeah!
Use that keyboard you spent money on.
Dang straight. And before we get too far going, we should thank our sponsor for this podcast, Jeff's Pizza. Whether you're playing something, streaming your favorite show, or catching a movie at home, Jeff's has got you covered with the best pizza at Ames. Come grab a slice or order your favorite pizza for delivery. It's the perfect fuel for whatever you're up to.
And don't forget about the Smotherella sticks. They're basically like pizza, but with the godly garlic butter sauce, as a base, and then cut into sticks. If you add a topping of your choice, there's no going back.
Bet. So, go
Actually,
check Jeff's... Whoop.
I'm going to go... Maybe I'll go get some Jeffs when I'm in town over Thanksgiving.
Over Thanksgiving, you bet. So, go check out Jeff's Pizza in Ames, Iowa, or order online for pickup or delivery. And if you're in the area, tell them we sent you. You'll get a smile from this guy right here, and we'll throw 10% off your entire order. So, let them know that Just Doing What You Do sent you. So, it's been two and a half, maybe 3 weeks since we last talked, caught up.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Life it's been interesting.
Yeah. You've shared a little bit of... I mean, my life's been interesting too, but not as interesting.
No, your life... I hope your life has not been as interesting as mine has.
I haven't... It's been a hot minute since I've done what you did.
Brother, it was a hot minute in my own life since I did what I did. So we'll just start with it. About a week and a half, almost 2 weeks ago at this point, I got myself in a car accident. And it was my fault. So
Been there, done that.
that sucks for one. So basically, what I was meaning before, it's been a hot minute since I did it. That was my first accident in over a decade. The last time I got in an accident was my first year of driving.
Wow.
So I'll be honest,
Actually kind of impressive.
I was beating myself up real hard. Well, I guess there was that one in. Either way, that's been a decade.
Was that an accident though?
Wasn't really though. It was just bumping fenders. But I mean, if you want to call an incident, like, okay, it was still 10 years, but like this was my first like made. I mean, to be honest, it was my first major accident since like my first year of driving, and even then, my major accident was I didn't look far enough right, and I just pulled out ahead, and my bumper went bye bye. Like it wasn't that. It wasn't as bad as this one was. Like no airbags went off in that impact. Airbags went off in this one.
Ooh, that I think I've totaled more cars than you have, but I've never had airbags go off yet.
I was trying to find a good joke sponsor like airbags, the one smoke you don't want. But it would give up the joke too quick. Like I wanted there to be a little of anticipation. Like I want like anyway. So yeah, no, it smells like it just smells like smoke. It's like not
Oh yeah.
enjoyable. But yeah, so I basically, long story short, I thought I had a left turn light. I did not, and whabam. Now, to be fair, I think the guy might have been speeding, but like, because he pushed my car like a lane and a half.
I mean, it doesn't take you. It doesn't. It takes less than you think it does.
That's fair. Like, I'm not, like, here, at the end of the day, it's not like I'm sitting here going, like, he was probably speeding. I'm going to get angry about it. Like, nah, dog, I still turned in front. Like, it's still kind of my fault. Even if he had been minorly speeding, maybe. What's the point?
I mean, yeah, yeah, maybe he was speeding, but you shouldn't have been in his lane at that time.
Well, exactly. Like, I'm not going to sit here and, like, complain about it and pretend like I'm some victim. Like, heck no. So, like, yeah.
That does remind me of something that happened to me, I think, since last time we talked. Kind of the same thing. Well, it didn't happen to me. I watched it.
Oh, okay.
And because there's a gas station up by where I work that has the best roasted chicken.
Intersection. Oh, okay. Best roasted
Well,
chicken.
so I stopped there for lunch. Actually, it was this was voting day. Actually, because I went up there because I was like, I'll grab lunch, I'll grab gas, I'll be good to go. So I'm pulling out, and there is an intersection, right? It's on the corner, and usually I'll go straight through this intersection. So I'll turn right out of the gas station onto a road, and then go straight through the intersection because then I can cross the train tracks and then go back to work through a back road.
Okay.
So, no, I'm gonna name them because I don't care. I've seen their drivers do crazy things. It's I want to say they do like some kind of heating and cooling, something. I don't know. It's either Suter or Sutter. Anyways, it's a truck, so it's a pickup truck, and I'm waiting to pull out of this gas station, and I just see him, and actually I pull out behind him. He's going, and he's probably going 5 to 10 over, right through the red light, and makes the left turn, and I'm like, what?
No kidding.
Like just flies through. I was like, if there was anybody there, part of me kind of wish there had been, because I wanted to see him get
carnage.
Wrecked. But that's insane.
Yeah.
But
like,
yeah, no, it sucks.
It does suck because like here his car was in such better shape than mine too. Like I
bet.
but like now I'm grateful because here's the deal. Here's the dealio. I was beating myself up absolutely ridiculously hard that night. Like, I legit got home, was taking a shower, and felt. I'll be honest. I felt hopeless enough that I was like, I'm just gonna go hang out with my parents for a little bit because like I just need to be around other people and not be alone in my own mind after a first major accident in over a decade, and it being my car that like this has been revealing. Like I acknowledge that I probably put a little bit too much self-worth in my car. Like that's something that I've learned from all this is like like that's not a good place to put your self-worth, you know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
a healthy place. Um so there was that and it was just like, okay, this is how I make my money and like to be honest, I had no idea what was going to happen, right? Like this is the first time I've ever been in anything like this. Like first time ever airbags, first time I've ever totaled a vehicle, like everything. So it was really rough that night. And so then the next day, like all the insurance stuff kind of starts rolling. And
Mhm.
it I'll be honest, it made my life a lot easier. Like I don't like I have State Farm, and so I've got no problem shouting out State Farm to like the ends of the earth right now because like it was it probably helped that it was my fault, right? However, it was a pretty just a clean cut, super simple process, right? It was answer some phone calls, answer some questions, you know, like things I still have to do, but like I'm
Yeah.
it was simple. Like I got my total like my car got totaled out. I got given a rental through Enterprise that State Farm took care of and then once the car got totaled out, I had a week from that to like basically find a car. Kind of went a little bit late, but I paid like an extra day or two for a rental at State Farm's rate, not at like Enterprise's rate. So like everything was just simple enough that like took a lot of weight, a lot of stress off my shoulders. The only sucky thing was, you know, having less ultimately to although I will say I got more for my car than I expected. Like I got pretty close to 8 grand when all was
Oh
said and
wow.
done. Yeah. Like it was
Pretty good.
7,008 something. So like I was thrilled with that because that ultimately I was positive I wasn't owing any money. In fact, I had money to put towards a new car. So like I was very fortunate and I was also fortunate in that I was by myself in the vehicle. Like that was another reason why I kind of felt like just absolutely distraught for a little moment. I was like, if I had had Des with me, I would be, I don't know what would be going on, all this kind of stuff. So like, I
Yeah.
thank you, I thank my lucky stars and go, time to learn.
Yep.
um. So yeah, car search, like, just finished that tonight. Um. Literally, why we started late tonight was because well, I guess you had some work stuff too, but Mason, it was mostly my fault because I was in the financial manager's office, like going, I don't know, like kind of trying to talk me into things. Like I got talked into lifetime oil changes for the car for like $700. So like honestly, and
Yeah.
my dad did the math, and it's completely worth it. Like most oil changes are $90 to $100. I get two oil changes a year after the already prepaid oil change service runs out. Like I have full extended warranty for basically the life of my loan. So like if anything goes wrong, period, it just goes
Yeah.
straight to the dealership. They fix it and I go, okay, I'm done.
I will say, I mean, warranties for the customer are nice. As techs, we're not super fond of it because it doesn't pay as well.
No, that's what.
But
Well, technically, it at least for Lithia, the guy was explaining to us that they pay their techs the same way. It just ultimately is more towards the bottom line of the dealership.
I suppose it depends on the warranty company, but it's because it's based on time. They don't give us as much time for a job
Oh,
under
interesting.
warranty. So
Huh.
yeah, they think it takes us faster to do it than it sometimes does.
It's under
Depending
warranty.
on
You can break the laws of physics. Dang it.
right. Oh, I wish I could have broke some laws of physics on this last vehicle I worked on.
Was that the one you were working on last week? Or was that a
No.
week and a half ago or whatever that had you at the shop till like almost as late as I was at the dealership tonight?
Um, no, that was
Okay.
something else.
Okay.
It's just yeah,
Yeah. So,
but no, yeah, use that warranty. They're there for a reason.
yeah. So like yeah, I just kind of yeah, like I just like I'm just going to do it just cuz like and now to be fair, I wish I waffled so hard on it. That guy he worked very hard to basically give me the warranty as cheap as freaking possible. And he got it as cheap to where my dad was like, "Oh, yeah, it just makes sense at this point." So, like
Yeah,
I'm I'm pretty stoked about it. It's a it's a 2018 Nissan Sentra. So it's not like the fanciest car I've ever owned. I mean, but also it's generally speaking, 2018 Sentras are considered to be pretty reliable. The biggest issue is the transmission, but oh no, if something goes wrong in the next few thousand, like over the life of my loan, it's taken care of.
yeah,
Now, if it goes wrong after the life of my loan, that's a different thing altogether. But my dad and I were basically talking about the point of this car is to just get me through this next like 4 years, and hopefully, when this car dies, I'm in a much better financial position.
yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm a mechanic. Look what I'm driving.
well, yes, but that's because you can fix it. Like,
I mean, that's true.
it's good for you to have that vehicle because anything goes wrong, you are physically capable of just saying, "All right, I'll spend the hour or 2 hours, or whatever, to fix it."
Yeah.
Whereas me, if something goes wrong with my vehicle, I go, "I'm a dum dum. What do I do?"
It doesn't mean I want to fix it.
I mean, fair, but
Also,
at least you have the
also
capability.
parts are still expensive.
Valid. That's true. But plus there's still stuff I'm going to look at improving in this car over time. Like I
I
will
mean, you still got to make it yours.
I will eventually get a CarPlay stereo just cuz it's 450 for like just a good really nice head unit. It has like some physical buttons cuz I'll be honest, I learned from this last one, it's like it was great. I loved it, but I missed having just like some physical buttons, and
Yeah.
capacitive buttons are only they work,
Yeah.
but but also the nice thing about the Sentra is that like I don't have to buy a whole separate computer to connect into this head unit. So like that's part of what saves the money is like you don't have to buy a $250 stereo then a $150 like computer
Yeah.
basically. So you just buy yeah, it's like 111. I don't remember the actual part breakdown, but it's Crutchfield, so they come with it all pre-wired basically by and large, so you're just plugging stuff in,
Yeah.
and it was still $200 cheaper. So eventually that will happen, and I don't know. I've got plans. I've told you about it in our messages, but like I'm
Yeah.
working on the idea of like a one-off stream where we just look at the car, run through some stuff that would be simple to improve and that kind of stuff. And also the nice thing, I got them to do like a little extra, like they ended up replacing the air filters. They checked the sensors. They updated the H. I don't remember the like the computer basically because
Mm.
there's an update available that if you don't update it, it can cause other issues. And I was like, please check that. And they're like, it needed the update. And I was like, sweet. So, like, yeah, I also hyper focused on this car a lot.
Yeah.
I watched
Nothing- nothing
hours
wrong.
and hours of YouTube videos to be like, okay, tell me all the things I should have them check.
I mean, that's good.
But yeah.
Ye-
And I'll be honest, I had a hot spot where I'm like, I'm kind of burnt out from work, but I just got back from a vacation, so that has alleviated some of it.
Vacations do that.
Yeah, the burnout's just wearing enough hats where it's like I just don't. There's some weeks where you just go, I can't wear all the hats because I don't have time to wear all the hats, and you just have to deal with it, and it kind of
Yeah.
sucks, honestly. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It is what it is.
I don't want to necessarily just take over this spot, but I guess it has been like it's been a while since we chatted, so like yeah.
It's true.
During my vacation, I played Metal Gear Solid 2, and like I beat Metal Gear Solid 2 and then started Metal Gear Solid 3.
It's been a hot minute since I've played Metal Gear Solid games.
They are some of my favorite at least 1 and 2 are some of my favorite games to play just cuz I think it's probably a little bit of the nostalgia thing. Like I just remember playing them and having fun, and it's fun to go back and sometimes struggle with things I didn't struggle with before.
Yeah.
and trying to do mechanics now that I didn't try to do mechanically then. Because like in Metal Gear Solid 2, you can hold people up at like gunpoint and they'll give you dog tags, and then you get things for dog tags. Or rather, there are extras that you can obtain through collecting certain amounts of dog tags, right? And when I played through it as a kid, I was like, I don't want to deal with that. But like now I'm kind of like, screw you, I'm holding you up, you know?
Right. Well, now you got that completionist gene in you.
It is true. Like I will. It is true, but it also isn't true because they have credit to Kojima, right? They have dog tags for every level of difficulty. So to truly complete it, you have to complete all the dog tags on easy, all the dog tags on normal, all the dog tags on hard, and all the dog tags on extreme.
Mm.
And I'm not doing that. I would replay to collect all the dog tags on, say, like normal or maybe even hard, but I'm not. At least I don't think I would want to do it through extreme.
That's fair.
But yeah, and it was my first time playing Metal Gear Solid 3. I'm gonna wait. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna continue trying to play it, but it makes me look forward to this remaster that they're making. Because it's an Unreal Engine 5, and I'm hoping it might fix just some of the gameplay issues. So
yeah.
it's because Metal Gear Solid 3 is set in a jungle. 1 and 2 are set in kind of like more close quarters.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're like crawling and like part of the mechanics of the game is you're like wearing camo and face paint to blend in, right? But when you're crawling in like tall grass, it goes to like this first person mode. And like,
Oh yeah.
no, I need to be able to see what's around me. Like, it's like, oh, you can equip the motion sensor, but then it takes up battery. And I'm like, but that takes up battery. I don't know yet if I can get more batteries or how do I get more batteries. Like, please give me like some sort of third person mode when I'm in the tall grass.
That's not how it works in real life.
You're not wrong. But still. So yeah, those are kind of my life updates. What about you, sir?
Um, I mean, I live a super exciting life where I do a lot of things all the time.
Like fixing
No.
cars.
Yeah. I mean, work.
Well,
A lot of work.
here's a probing question. How's the live music stuff going?
Slowly. Um, I have, well, I'm not going to give any details, but there's potentially, I have a meeting
Ooh.
with someone over Thanksgiving break that I'm not, because I won't give a I'll give you details later, not
Fair.
on the stream, only because I'm not entirely sure where this will go, um, but I do know it's related to that, um, so we'll see. Other than that, I mean, I've got um, one show coming up in December. That's all that I've got scheduled. It's the slow season. There's not a whole lot happening. So,
That makes sense, I suppose.
um, and there's still a few things that I want to get ironed out before I really go hog wild. Um, in fact, tonight the idea was given to me that I should probably make a Facebook page for it.
For your business?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, um,
I mean, here's the good news. You know a guy who does social media stuff, so you can always ask him questions.
it's very true. Um, but yeah, so there's a couple things that I need to iron out before I really go hog wild with it. Um, so yeah, that's still in a coast mode.
That's fair.
Work is work. I fix cars.
Yeah, thank you.
Um, I mean, sometimes it's easy, it's smooth sailing. It's easy to figure out what's wrong, and it's a simple fix. Other times we get the torch out and
Make some
turn
liquid.
solid, turn some solids into liquids, and pound the piss out of a wheel to get it off.
Yeah.
That's what we did today. Um, yeah, that was something else.
Well, tell me about it, sir.
Oh, we had to do tires on a car, and yeah, one of the lug nuts did not want to come off, so
You made it came off?
we made it came off. Uh, yeah, grinded it down, and then he got the big torch out, made it liquid, and I went underneath and just pounded it until it came off.
Damn.
Yeah. So, um, but yeah, other than that, I'm doing some other what do I want to call it? Some self
Reflecting?
reflecting, exploration, learning some things about myself, um, through something that's I would say is similar to it's similar but not really at all that similar to like those personality tests like the Myers-Briggs thing.
Okay.
This is more directed, um, but it's been very interesting and very enlightening. Um, and there's still I'm meeting with someone who's studied this system for a lot longer than I have. Um,
What system is it? Out of some curiosity.
it's called human design.
Interesting.
It's yeah, it incorporates several different um philosophies um from quite a range of oh, what's the word? Cultures.
Interesting.
Um
Okay.
So
I'm very curious. Okay.
so, um, I mean, other than that, that's the biggest. Speaking of nostalgia video games, I got a wild itch to play Half-Life 2 again. So I started that.
It's a
Uh,
good game.
it's a good game. But yeah, other than that, yeah, that's pretty much. Um, oh, I did buy concert tickets. The concert's not until April. But I did buy tickets to see Papa Roach and Rise Against in April.
Ooh,
So
solid lineup.
yeah, so we'll be on the floor. So
Nice.
and it's in Omaha at the Chai
Chai
Health
Health Center.
Center. Yeah. So Papa Roach, Rise Against, and Under Oath. So
Yeah, it's a really good. It's a very good lineup.
yeah, floor tickets for only $100. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Listen, I just got a car, so like $100 sounds like a lot, and also doesn't sound like a lot, but it does sound like a lot.
Right.
Well, especially because not to make it about boy, putting down a down payment sure does hurt sometimes.
Yeah.
Even though like I got given a check from State Farm that was basically the down payment. It was in my account. It felt nice, and then it disappeared, and it hurt.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, nonetheless, that's a very good price.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah. I will be in Ames over Thanksgiving.
Good. So will I.
So I won't I'll come in Wednesday night and then I think we're doing stuff Thursday.
That is Thanksgiving Day. It makes sense.
Yeah. Um
I mean, I'm gonna be
and
working that Friday, but like I'm available. I'm pretty sure I'm available that. Well, I have Des that weekend, but I'm available for you.
I'll iron out. I know there's one other
There are people who like
tradition.
their Anthony time. Oh, tradition.
There's one other tradition that happens that weekend, and I want to say it's Saturday, but it might be Sunday. I don't remember.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty
I'm just
sure I
along for the
can.
ride.
I'm pretty sure I can work out a deal with Grandma and Grandpa where Des spends the night with them and hangs out. Like,
Yeah,
they're pretty cool with that. They like their Des time. Like, I try not to
yeah.
abuse it, but they like their Des time.
As grandparents often do.
Yeah, like,
So we'll figure something out.
sweet.
But yeah, I'll be in town.
Yeah, I think I know what we should do, but to be honest, I haven't 100% yet beat that game. Mostly because Amanda, the Adventure of Ghosts.
Oh yeah.
Because that's one of those things that would be fun to do with you in town. But like I really do have to 100% beat that game, and I came close, and then life happened.
I feel that as someone who has totaled a vehicle or two, I get that 100%.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing I forgot. Like, so far, it seems like from my insurance agent, it won't affect my insurance. So, like,
That's
praise.
considering it was your fault. That's yeah.
Now, I can't. I don't know that for certain. To be fair, but the meeting I had with my agent when I signed the documents and like got the check, like made it sound very much like it wouldn't affect my premiums for.
I mean, I
Again,
imagine your record's clean enough that even if it does, it won't be like now you're paying triple.
yeah, no,
I'm sure it'll be
I have made some
not that bad.
adjustments in my budget for it, but like I'm just hoping like if my premium stays the same, hallelujah.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah, if your record's clean enough that you're probably gonna be fine.
And if your record's clean enough too, you should like this video and subscribe to this channel. And and on that note, we're gonna move on to kind of the gaming, entertainment, and life stuff. Just not game and life, gaming, entertainment, and tech stuff of this podcast, because I think we've mostly caught up on life, unless there's anything else
I
you've
think
got.
so.
Yeah.
Not really.
Okay.
That's
So
cool.
we're just going to talk about the kind of stuff that we've been playing, things that have caught our attention. I'm a little bit of a preview. I'm going to give a little bit of a real live, kind of on the spot, to be honest, because I haven't made like a full on like bullet point notes, but live review of a piece of technology I used recently, and looks like Anthony has something that he's looking forward to playing.
Yeah. So a friend of mine has been playing this, and they're pretty confident this game is right up my alley, and I think it is,
Yes.
based on what I've seen.
Same.
And I trust their opinion on it because they're one of the few people I know that also likes Golden Sun as much as I do, and not many people know what Golden Sun is.
You will like this game. I don't know. I know what Golden Sun is. I did play. I think they made a Game Boy Advance version of Golden Sun that I played.
Golden Sun 1 and 2 is on the Game Boy Advance, and then there was a third one.
It was
On
subtitled of some sort.
It was on the 3DS. I know
Okay,
that
never
much.
mind. I
There
remember
was Golden
seeing.
Sun. There was
Nope.
Golden Sun, and then there was Golden Sun. Oh my goodness, I don't remember a thing.
Wah, wah.
It's been so long since I've played it.
Well, I know for myself. I
Golden
don't.
Dawn, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But if it came out on the DS, it may have the subtitle with like D and S because Nintendo did that a lot.
Yeah.
Like Dawn of Sun, maybe like Golden Sun, Dawn of the Sun, something like that. I could see.
My gut instinct was right. The Lost Age was the second one,
Okay.
and then Dark Dawn was the third one.
Okay. So I'm aware of Golden Sun because it's a tactics RPG, right?
No, it's JRPG style.
Really? It's full JRPG. Okay.
It's
Because
full JRPG.
I swore it was a little tactical, but okay. Never
Mhm.
mind then. Because I went through a tactics phase on the Game Boy Advance with FF Tactics,
mean,
but
Oh, yeah, Game Boy Advance FF Tactics that game slapped hard.
yeah. Yeah. I'm not as much of the tactics nerd as I was back then, but nonetheless, tell me about Golden Sun. And I guess how it relates to Sea of Stars, because
Well,
I agree
mean-
that Sea of Stars is right up your alley.
yeah. So, because her and I have talked about Golden Sun before, so I'm fairly, and like, I've been getting Snapchats of the game, and I did some research, and yeah, they were like, this game is right up your alley. I think you'll really like it. So I've been doing some research, and I decided today I'm going to get it, and I'm going to play it. Actually, I was just before we got on here, while I was waiting for you, I was on Steam, and one of the devs was actually live streaming it on Steam. So
Ooh,
I was like, yeah. So I haven't fully decided what platform I want to get it on, because I kind of want to get it on the Switch so that it's more portable.
It is one of those JRPGs that should play pretty smoothly on the Switch, because they made it for like every platform. You can play it on like on iPhones, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly. So
Because yeah, it's been out since like 23. Supposedly there's DLC coming out spring of 25. And she was like, you should get it on the PC, because I don't know how soon the DLC will drop for the Switch. I still don't know. I will probably still get it on the Switch just for portability.
makes sense.
because I know there's not any mods for it, which I wouldn't expect there to be. Um, so that is the next game, and I can give reactions as time goes on because
As you play.
I just solidified the decision to finally like after seeing it so many times I was like, all right, I just need to. I keep being told you think it's right up my alley. I mean, it looks classic, and
It's very
I think I've
classic.
I think I've been itching for a good new JRPG because I replayed Chrono Cross, um, which was good. I mean, one of my favorites. Um, but and I was starting to get the itch to go back and replay Chrono Trigger, and this will come close, and it's new,
Yeah.
so I'm looking forward to it.
I will say I remember. So Linus of Linus Tech Tips, right? He played
Mhm.
Sea of Stars, and he ultimately didn't finish it because there was no, never mind. It's not Sea of Stars. It was Fantasian. So
Mm.
never mind. Like he likes the idea of Sea of Stars, but I think there's something about it that just didn't stick out to him. But anyway, the people who I know who have played Sea of Stars have liked it. So and yeah, it's very much up your alley. So
Yeah, based on the gameplay that I've seen and the pictures that I've seen, I mean the art looks phenomenal, and
it's that
I mean
classic 1632-bit pixel art.
that not really top down, kind of isometric
Yeah,
view. It's just it. Yeah,
2.5D ish.
it's I I've been needing a new JRPG story to get sucked into. So
I
since I
respect
have to
that.
wait, I have to wait until they announce a release date before I can replay Kingdom Hearts again.
Yeah. To be honest, that's probably why I'm kind of doing this whole like I'm replaying the Metal Gear Solid stuff just cuz like yeah, Metal Gear Solid is that Japanese storytelling ish where but it makes it I was thinking about this on the trip. I was like, this is probably why I like Metal Gear Solid games so much. It's basically a Japanese take on American espionage melodrama.
Mm-hmm.
Cuz I loved 24. I will still rewatch 24 from time to time because I don't know, I like that show. And
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid is pretty much the Japanese take on it. I mean, if anything, it can be further proven by the fact that in the Metal Gear Solid in 5 and Ground, like the two Metal Gear Solid 5 subtitled games, it's Ground Zeroes and The Phantom Pain. They have Kiefer Sutherland as the voice of Snake in those games, as opposed to
Hmm.
David Hayter from 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the assorted mobile games. So, like, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so and yeah, there's no easy way to. I was gonna see if I could find a way to segue into my topic, but like, there's not. Um, so recently, I bought the PlayStation version USB-C connection of the Backbone, which for if you are not aware or for people out there on the interwebs that may be unaware, the Backbone is it's basically just a mobile like a handheld controller that directly connects into your phone and like wraps around the sides of it and it makes your
Okay.
phone like a switch more or less. It's not quite the same, but like again, it's just like it kind of expands. Put your phone in the center, contracts. It's got a little USB-C connection that plugs into your phone, and then it's
I've
a
always I've
physical
always been
controller.
I've always been skeptical of those, so I'm looking forward to hearing your reaction to it.
Good, because I have a lot of thoughts about it. So it used my iPhone, and it uses your phone's hardware. So like whether you're playing on Android or iPhone, like it's gonna use the hardware of your phone to render everything. All this is a controller, nothing more, nothing less. However, what Backbone does is they give you an app. Well, they don't give you an app. There's an app available on the App Store and on like Google Play. And through this app, you can update the firmware of the controller, but it also works as like a hub of sorts. So games that you have installed on your device, or like say if you have Steam Link installed on your phone, you can launch Steam Link or a game from the Backbone app. So I like that. One of the things that I didn't necessarily like about it, and this wasn't necessarily something that affects me, but does affect people in general, is that when the Backbone was initially released, there, like, because how it connects to your phone with like a little USB-C connector, but it also has pass-through USB-C and headphone jack. Now, initially, you could, when the Backbone first came out, you could use the pass-through USB-C, like just plug in a USB-C cable into the Backbone, and then plug it into like a computer or an iPad or a phone, so you don't necessarily have it directly connected through the physical hardware piece, but it's still connected through a cable, and they would allow you to use it as just as a Xbox controller or as a PlayStation controller, depending on which version you got.
Okay.
Recently, I don't specifically remember the date, through a firmware update, they basically paywalled that little feature. So you would have to do a monthly or yearly subscription to this Backbone service, or I'm going to take that back. It might just be a simple one-time purchase, actually.
Okay.
Nonetheless, not super great, because it took a feature that was initially offered for free and then put it behind a paywall. So
Yeah.
I don't like that. However, because recently on my vacation, we took a road trip to Colorado. So I had put Minecraft on my phone because Dez is kind of at that age where he likes making stuff, he likes building stuff, and he's beginning to be able to grasp the concepts of most video games.
Mm-hmm.
So I put Minecraft on the phone, put in creative mode, like he has a little creative mode world, and put in the Backbone, and he played the absolute poop out of it, and it played really well. And then later on the trip, I tried it out because I tried. I downloaded the Assassin's Creed Mirage, I believe it is. It's the one that's based in Baghdad.
Okay.
Because it was one of those new games that basically they redid the graphics with like Apple's metal hardware, and you could it has like some pretty basic ray tracing, and like Apple likes to say it's a pretty close to console-like experience on the phone. So I was like, all right, they have a free demo version. You can play through the prologue of the game. So I downloaded it and I played it. The controller, great. Like, I am not a input lag nerd. I'm not the guy that's going most of the time unless it's super noticeable. But most of the time I don't care about input lag that much. And I will say the input lag on the Backbone is, at least to me, seems pretty much non-existent. Like, you press a button, it happens. You move the stick, the correct stuff should happen. So there's no input lag. Feels great unless, I used it for Steam Link at home and works wonderfully. There's input lag, but that's more because of, because of the connection, it's just because of streaming, right?
I was gonna say, I think that's a Steam Link.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that happens. And I got to say I became a believer in the backbone. It is a very valid way for people who, don't have a PlayStation Portal or they don't want to buy a ROG Ally. They have their phone and they just want to use their phone to stream from their PC or stream from their PlayStation or just play a game from their phone. Like you can get Stardew Valley for your phone and then just plug in your backbone and do it on that. Like it's great. It's super wonderful. I really like it. However,
Mm.
it is $100 for a backbone. Most phones have a Bluetooth chip. A PlayStation 5 controller, an Xbox One controller, both communicate via Bluetooth.
Mm-hmm.
While there might be some input lag, I can't tell you that for certain. You can get a used PlayStation 5 controller, a used Xbox One controller, or hell, you can get a new version of either of those for $30 to $40 cheaper than a backbone. What you don't get is necessarily the easy portability, like the phone's in the middle. It's a Switch-like portable experience.
Yeah.
So for a vacation, it's great. If you're traveling and you're mobile, it's great. But for me, where a lot of my second screen streaming gaming is done from inside my home, there's genuinely not much need for it. I have a ROG Ally. I have a PlayStation Portable. Or Portal, as it were. Excuse me. Still a PSP, but slightly different. I have those things. So it's hard to justify the price of $107 versus $60. Or already owning equipment for it, So ultimately, I decided to return it, which might make Des sad, but we don't go on vacations that much. And Minecraft is still installed on my phone. And by the way, we can connect a phone to the iPhone. We can connect a controller to the iPhone. And then we can AirPlay from the iPhone to the Apple TV. He won't notice the input lag for what little there will be.
Yeah.
So, I love it, but there's a place for it. Again, there is a place for it. There are people out there who don't have ROG Allies, who don't have a PlayStation Portal. They just want to carry their phone and toss something in their bag every once in a while. They can be like, yep.
Yeah.
And for those people, it's way better than any cheap version that you will find on Amazon or Temu or Shein or whatever. Like, I will say, and I will continue to say this, backbone all the way. It's just I don't have a particular need for it. It's not for me.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, when you've got as much equipment as you or I do, I mean, granted, that's another thing is I don't game on my phone hardly at all.
Yeah.
Because again, if I'm gonna game, I'm gonna either go portable console, full console, or PC Master Race. So, yeah, but I could definitely see where that would be. I mean, if that's your platform.
And the price of brand new flagship phones anymore is like more than a console at this point. So like if you're not a console player but you play Genshin Impact on mobile and you play you can get Fortnite on mobile, you can get indie games like Stardew Valley, Terraria. There's a lot of mobile games or
Yeah.
mobile console games that have come to mobile phone.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's I could see it. I mean, even at the price point compared to a controller, because with the controller, you still have to figure out, all right, where am I going to set my phone that it'll sit where I can see it? Because then you have to get like a stand or lean it up against your backpack or something. But if it's in your hand, then
If it's a Switch
yeah.
parallel experience, right?
So
Switch
yeah,
adjacent.
Switch adjacent, PSP adjacent.
Yeah. By the way, Zach Builds did a modern PSP, or he did an upgraded. He did a PSP build recently. That's so cool.
Hmm.
I missed that. One
I
of my
have mine
favorite mobile
somewhere.
consoles.
You know, tangent. I will say this. I don't know what Sony was doing, but the PSP never held a charge. Charge it up. I mean, if you played on it, it would, but if you turned it off and let it set,
Oh yeah.
wouldn't hold a charge. I have not touched my 2DS in probably over a year, and I bet you it's still got its charge on it.
Or at least some charge, yeah.
I the
Yeah.
Nintendo consoles just hold a charge.
I'm
I don't
pretty sure
know,
they just yeah, I would like to know Nintendo's magic for that.
right? What's sorcery? Who are they sacrificing? What god are they sacrificing to for this? Because I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
But that was a total tangent. But no, I could see. I've just always been skeptical of, and maybe that comes from the fact that I don't mobile game at all.
And to be fair, I really don't, but like yeah.
Because I hate the tactile controllers that are on the screen. Oh, I hate those so much.
Yeah, touch
Just
controls
thinking
are the
of
worst.
just thinking about it makes me angry.
Here's this digital joystick. How is it? Terrible.
Terrible.
Glad you like
also,
it.
Also, now my thumb's in my way. I can't see
Can't
anything.
see anything behind my thumb.
There's just nothing good about this.
Yeah, it's bad.
Although there are some people, mostly kids, that's what they grew up. We started on. You had a controller and it was physically plugged in.
Yep.
Like you could not go more than 5 feet away from that console.
No more than 1 meter. NES, baby.
The distance that you could get from your TV was the length of the cord from the controller to the console and the console to the TV. That was it.
Those were fond days.
Oh, the good old days.
Although I will say that the Super NES did have that IR wireless controller. You had to be looking at it directly, but
Yeah. Well, and I think the Dreamcast had one too.
yeah. It was the Wavebird that finally did it right, and then everyone
Yeah.
went, let's do it like the Wavebird.
And then this will really get some of the younger people
Triggered.
triggered is there were back before HDMI when everything's HDMI. My Super Nintendo plugged into the back of the TV with a coax cable.
Those were
That
the
was what we
worst.
had.
Kids these days don't understand how good they got it with HDMI.
Oh, I had a coax cable, and then you had to buy a special splitter.
If you
You had to have
if you didn't have RCA, you had to get that adapter. Yep. Oh,
you had to be on channel 3 or 4.
4. Yep.
I mean, granted, nowadays it's input channels, but still.
Yeah.
Oh, the good old days.
I'm glad to have the newer days with HDMI.
I mean, yeah. It's true. It's yeah.
We
Also,
have nostalgic
having-
looks, but
Also, Nowadays, everything's HDMI. So if you only have one HDMI cable, you could essentially only have one cable for all of your consoles. Back in the day, everything had its own proprietary cable. you could not plug
PlayStation
in
had
this.
their own, Nintendo had their
Yep.
own, Dreamcast had their own. Ugh.
PlayStation's was similar to some of the other technology that was around at the time, mostly Sony technology.
Yes.
Nintendo's pretty much stayed the same.
It did at least give credit to Nintendo. Yeah, they stayed same through Super NES to GameCube. Wii even.
I was gonna say, I think they all, from Super Nintendo to the Wii, they were all the same plug.
Even when they did their upgraded digital plug, it still plugged into that plug.
Yeah. And then I don't even remember what the Xbox's was, because I did own an Xbox.
They had their own proprietary connection for the one, or for each one, basically, up till the Xbox One.
I think so. Or was it the 360?
No, 360 definitely had HDMI, but it still had a composite input that you could use if you wanted to. But yeah, it was the first HD console, so it did have HDMI, if I remember correctly. Yeah. But yeah, so I'll be honest, I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this because I know it happened and I have not listened to this yet.
So, and I can only, so I did not go seek it out, and I wasn't planning on it because I have my own feelings about it.
Okay.
However, a coworker was playing it on, so we've listened to it at work, and I don't even know what the album title is. I just know it's the new Linkin Park album.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't remember the album title either.
So my thoughts on it. I know they're still called Linkin Park. I guess I'll say it this way. It's not. It's still good. It was still good music, well crafted, well performed.
Okay.
And I mean, I think I even and I enjoyed the music. It's grew up on. It's definitely different. I mean, she does sound similar.
Yeah.
But I mean, as someone who grew up on and kind of survived on Chester's voice, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
And I get that.
Yeah.
There were some times where I could tell that they were trying to sound like old Linkin Park. Like I could hear old Linkin Park style stuff in there. And I don't know if that's just Mike trying to call back to his early days.
I mean, it makes some sense because you would think they would try to retain some similarities, right?
Yeah, and I get that. I mean, they still have access to that catalog, and they're still mostly the same band, but they are. So yeah, those are my thoughts. It's good. It's a little weird calling it Linkin Park because I do think it's similar, but it's different enough that I feel like it could use its own name, and I kind of feel like, I'll be honest, I kind of feel like with not changing the name, he's trying to cash in on that name, because I know like because I want to make sure I get this right, so
Fair.
I'm gonna look something up. Member.
Number.
Uh, uh, I swear, what band? Because there was another group where he split off and started another band.
Fort Minor.
No, not Mike's thing.
Oh,
Um,
did Chester have another band?
no, not Chester. I'm thinking of entirely different group.
Oh, okay.
Um, but they had a band, and then the lead singer broke off and did his own thing and made another band that, if you didn't know the difference, they sounded almost exactly the same.
Hmm.
Because it was still him performing and writing the music. It was just a different name.
Gotcha.
So I feel like Mike's trying to cash in on the Linkin Park name. Which
I mean, he's equally part of it. So, like,
he is. It is his. It's. I mean, I don't fault him for it. I get it. I mean, and in terms of business, it's a good business play.
Yeah.
And the newer generations aren't gonna know the difference. Like, I grew up. I mean, I grew up listening to Linkin Park in high school. It's almost.
I think of StarCraft every time I hear Meteora. So, like the album in general.
I listened to like 5 albums over and over again throughout high school, and Linkin Park was 2 of them. So,
Yep.
it wasn't.
It's gonna bother you. It's gonna bother you.
Oh, was it? I think it was. Hold on. Hold on. I think I got it. Was that the other band?
Was it?
I think it was Blink 182.
Who?
Yeah. I think the one I'm thinking of is Travis Barker.
Interesting.
Going over to plus 44. No. Hold on.
Holding on. Just gonna sit back and relax and act all cool. Shoot some b-ball outside the school. Maybe a couple of guys will come up to me and they'll be up to no good. Maybe they'll start making trouble in the neighborhood.
Yeah, okay. Blink 182 and Angels and Airwaves. Sounded almost identical.
Tom DeLonge?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only mostly
Yes.
because he has a very
His
distinct
voice.
voice.
That distinctive voice, you're right, but the rest of the sound of that band is not Blink 182.
It's
like, as
similar.
someone who
Again,
liked Angels and Airwaves.
if you didn't know the difference, you wouldn't have been able to tell. As people who know the difference, yes,
I'll give
we
you
can
that.
tell.
Okay. I'll give you that one.
So it's kind of like that's kind of how I feel about the new Linkin Park. As for people who don't know the difference, it's going to sound the same. But as someone who, and she does sound, in some of her vocals and some of her screaming, she sounds very like very like like a female Chester,
Yeah.
very similar.
I,
But
I,
as
I
someone, but as someone who could pick out Chester's voice on a single note, yes, I can tell the difference.
That's fair.
It was kind of like your Mountain Dew trial with me. I immediately knew which one was fake,
Yeah. Okay.
but I drank way more than I probably should. But yes, Blink-182 and Angels and Airwaves was the one I was thinking of.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. I had a thought and then it fell out of my brain. So yeah, that makes sense.
Like I get they're different.
Right. That's what I was going
As people who know the difference, they're different.
That's fair. I
But for-
remember when they did like that live like the live concert after they revealed like they did some of this like similar but different. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah. I mean, I bet if they performed one of the old songs that even live she could get it to sound like it was just Chester.
Yeah. I think in their live performance they did "Somewhere I Belong" actually, and she just she. It was one of her first performances with the band, so it's not like it was the smoothest thing ever, but it sounded good.
Yeah. So yeah, my final thoughts. It's good music. I don't know that I'll go listening to it often. I might check out a couple songs. There might be a few cuz I mean like there's like I don't like hip hop, but I mean there's the occasional song here and there that I'm like, yeah, this song
It's good.
is good. But and again, granted, even within Linkin Park's catalog, if I'm listening to Linkin Park, it's usually the early stuff.
That's fair. I like
Um,
all their albums by and
I
large.
mean,
So Minutes to Midnight's pretty
minute,
classic.
yeah, that one's classic. Um, and even some of the stuff after that. I mean, some of the
they
stuff
did
right
with
before,
Steve Aoki was pretty sweet.
yeah,
One More
only-
Light just hits too hard.
yeah, that album or that chunk of music right before,
It hits so hard. It hurts.
heavy.
One More Light.
One
just
More
that
Light.
song, like that's just like, what were you
Especially
warning us?
Yeah, right. Especially after, I can't.
Well,
that song makes me
there's
emotional.
there's some tinfoil hat stuff that could go on there too, but we won't
Well,
go
yeah, we won't go there.
there.
So yeah, it's good music. I'll give it that. I won't knock it. It sounded good. I was rocking to it. But in my heart, it's not Linkin Park. It's Linkin Park adjacent, but it's not Linkin Park.
I've got a
But I'm-
video. Oops, sorry.
But I'm kind of being a purist.
Understandable. You're allowed to do that. I've got a video that I found earlier today from it's AI Chester Bennington doing a song, and it actually kind of made me tear up a little bit. So I'll save that for after we're done.
Speaking of on that same topic, and something I mentioned today because we were listening to all sorts of rock music, but it was the last outdoor show that I worked. Well, no, actually, no, that's not true. Actually, yes, it is because I didn't actually work that show. Anyways, the last outdoor show I was at the Hard Rock was Volbeat, but I didn't. I was supposed to work that show, but I didn't work it. Before that, I worked a Five Finger Death Punch show, and Five Finger Death Punch does a cover of a song.
Yes, a song.
I'm drawing a blank on the name now.
One of many, I'm sure. There might be thousands, even millions of songs. Maybe even billions.
Gone Away. That's the song. because it's one of the few actually good um songs from the band that actually sang it. Wow, I'm drawing all sorts of blanks. I'm just
Keep trying.
anyway. Um, but no, so he performed "Gone Away," and right before he did, Ivan was like, I'm gonna dedicate this song to my friend Chester," and I was like, I'm gonna sit down and have me a moment while he sings this.
Yeah.
I cannot do anything right now. All the feels. I'm gonna have me a feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So,
Um.
the Offspring. That's who.
Okay.
Pretty sure they were really hit or miss. But
Yeah.
I don't know. AI generated anything makes me nervous, but
That's fair. I only we'll talk about it later. It's from a content creator who I kind of discovered on Meta, aka Facebook/Instagram, and he has a YouTube channel, and it's good. It's just fun stuff. Yeah. Speaking of fun stuff, well, I guess first of all, is there anything else you have? You're
well, I mean, that's
Okay.
pretty much the sum of my thoughts.
That's some of your thoughts on the new Linkin Park. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, there's no easy way to transition to this one. I've just been I'm having trouble starting new hobbies. So, like, I recently bought a soldering kit, gets you a soldering iron, hot air gun, like little hot air blower gun.
I was gonna say, what is a hot air thing?
1 second.
As someone who does quite a bit of soldering,
Okay, I'm almost there. There we go. It's this thing.
you said you were almost there.
Yeah, okay, fair. That's what she said.
Yep. I was trying not to.
It's
a heat gun.
It's a heat gun, yeah. It's a heat gun. So like soldering, although this one needs to be replaced because it got broken in transit.
Mm.
But nonetheless,
No, do what I do. Use a torch lighter.
no.
Actually, you can't do that on. Well, I mean, you really only need a heat gun to
Loosen stuff.
loosen
Or
stuff
shrink.
and shrink wrap.
Yeah. But nonetheless, so I've got a soldering iron. I've got soldering tips. Like I got a whole thing, and I even got like a learning kit that you make an alarm clock. And I have every instinctual belief that I should be okay at the very least at this, because like there's enough stuff that I watch, and there's enough transferable skills from other things that like I should at least be competent at the worst. But yet,
How's
What?
that going?
I
And how's
haven't started it at all. Because, like, what if I suck?
so I'm gonna weird flex, but okay. So when I was in school for first year mechanic school, we were doing basic electricity stuff. And I've done it so many times because pretty much everything I do involves some kind of electronics repair. So to flex on the class, I actually, and purely to see if I could do it,
Sure.
I took a piece of wire that was just long enough to go around my wrist, and I soldered it into one wire and made a bracelet that I could not remove.
Of course you would.
Which means I think, because I had to hold the wires together, so I think I had the soldering iron in this hand. It was a trick. Would not recommend.
I won't be doing that anytime soon. Not at all. No, thank you.
And has no practical uses. But
That's most flexes work.
you should be. Do you have a steady hand?
Yeah.
Because that's, I mean, you don't necessarily have to have a steady hand, because you can do the whole like
And you can clean up
pinky
stuff
and
too,
yeah.
by and large. Like it is a pretty.
Actually, the other thing, and I saw one that I need to get because it looked really good. Have you heard of Helping Hands?
Those are like the little clips, basically. Yeah, I've heard of
Yeah.
them.
Highly recommend. Um, oh yeah. Uh, Harbor Freight has a fantastic looking Helping Hands. It has two clips, a magnifying glass, um, for $5.
Cool. There's a Harbor Freight in town too.
There is. I've been there.
Right.
Actually,
Yeah.
their $9 one has that one's actually pretty good too. Um, but yeah, highly recommend Helping Hands. Um, yeah, you'll be fine at soldering.
Yeah. It's just one of those things that's also like, to be fair, that's like I don't necessarily have like a whole lot of space for it, so like I have to get a plastic table out and do it. I'm just like, sometimes I'm lazy, so that doesn't help me either.
That's fair.
But like ultimately, like the whole, like I bought an alarm clock as part of the like like it's its own learning thing. Like you get to make an LED alarm clock soldering stuff, and like I think I'm just like eventually I'm just gonna do it because like I'm pretty. I shouldn't say I'm 100% sure because like I did get Des a Mario themed alarm clock last year, so it's not like he really needs an alarm clock. But he
Yeah,
might appreciate like the bigger LEDs of this one as opposed to his little Mario alarm clock, which is like a teeny tiny screen. So like maybe. Either way,
yeah,
like I that's what I'm gonna do to like learn. It's just getting the fortitude to do it, I suppose.
yeah. Well, and I mean, on that topic, I mean, you definitely can't get better at it if you don't do it. So
True story.
you're probably gonna you might suck at it the first little while, but that's what practice is for.
You right.
And as someone who has a lot of electronics in his life, you might find that skill very good. And you don't have to be a master at micro soldering tomorrow.
We talk about. Of course, I have to be me. I'm the best at
Um,
everything. I want to be the very best, like no one ever
never
was.
was.
To solder everything is my greatest test. To solder
The
them
old,
all is my cause.
keep in mind the only reason I'm as good at soldering as I am is because I've been doing it for so long. So, yes, I'm good enough to solder at weird angles, and I have actually I only think I have two. I only have two soldering irons right now. I'm looking at a third one. I'm looking at a new soldering set. Um and I can make solder joints that look better than factory if I'm really trying. But practice. I've I can only do that because I've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
But I mean, so yeah, I think it's right up your alley. It's a skill that you would find useful. It's fun. I don't know if I would call it a hobby.
I mean,
Although if you're really into making those like electronic models, I mean, actually, yeah, you probably could.
yeah.
Actually, considering a lot of the YouTubers I know who do a lot of those things, yeah, it could definitely be a hobby.
Like, yeah, like, for example, like, Zach Builds is the one I, like, well, Zach Builds and Linus Tech Tips are, like, the number 1 and 2 reasons why I'm like, I just need to learn to do this stuff, because, yeah, like, it feels up my alley. It's just, it's yeah.
Yeah.
The fear of failure sucks.
Yeah. And I mean,
Yep.
and your discussion prompt. I mean, there's hobbies that make me feel similarly. My job makes me feel similarly some days. It's like I'm next to a guy who's been doing it way longer than I have, and he just knows things, and I'm over here screwing stuff up. Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
but then, you know, you do it long enough, you get good enough at it. I mean, yeah, there's hobbies that you're gonna suck at to start with. And yeah, I mean, we're perfectionists. We want to be good at it right off the bat, but
Yeah, it's a real struggle.
it really is. So
Yeah,
it's hard starting new things.
yeah. And speaking of things that are struggle and sometimes hard starting, um, to be honest, I just put this in because like I don't have too many things for this. But I just kind of have something that I want to do in the nearest future. I just don't know when I'll have the time because it's a personal thing. And then yeah, so like content updates.
Um, I don't have any. I've been bad about one. I don't think. I mean, the question is, would anybody be into board game content? Um, but like I've been playing single player games and games that have been out for a very long time.
Fair.
So it's
Cardboard. To be in all fairness to you, board and card games are hard to do with a single camera. So like,
yeah. But like video games, like even Sea of Stars has been out long enough that I mean, and it's
it may not necessarily be algorithm friendly, but if you choose, you can. Like, I'm not forcing you to record anything that you don't want to make, right?
yeah,
The always the goal with content creation is you want to attempt to make something that you yourself would enjoy, right?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, and spoiler, it's not like I have a whole lot of content updates here either because I've been busy.
Yeah.
Like I have stuff that I want to do, but I haven't necessarily always have the time to do it either. So like,
Yeah.
and frankly, sometimes maybe I do have the time, but like I kind of sometimes need to choose to like just relax from time to time. So, and even then, it doesn't always work perfectly because then I go, well, I'm gonna try to relax. I feel bad relaxing. Let's clean.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, like the only content update I've got is that yeah, like at some point, like I've got an idea for us to do a live stream. I know at one point I would like to do a Manager of the Adventure 2 where I've beat it fully and you're kind of reacting the first time and I can maybe kind of help fill in some stuff here and there.
Yeah.
And the only other thing is I want to play through Dark Forces Remastered and I think I'll record that. But even then I don't know when I'm going to get to that just because I got lots of other stuff that I kind of sort of need to do and can get done,
Yeah.
But we are thinking of stuff. Part of the whole goal of this channel, and I guess I shouldn't necessarily speak for Anthony, but part of my goal for this stuff is to make stuff as we can. The algorithm would love for us to upload one video every single day. But personally, I don't have the time to do that because editing takes a lot of time and recording takes time. And I'm already working around 50 hours a week and I'm a co-parent and I have a house to keep track of, to like keep in a livable shape because I don't want to live in a freaking hovel.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, we do our best and we're yeah, at least I can honestly say I do my best. Not always, we don't always get content out as fast as the algorithm would like. But if you like something, please make sure you like it and comment. Tell us, because A, it's friendly for the algorithm, and B, it's instant feedback for us.
It's true.
I can tell you that your views on your 7 Days to Die are better than some stuff. Like, they're not number 1 and number 2, but you've got views on it. So, like, that's worth noting, my guy.
Good to know. Good to know.
And yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about some of that stuff later. And that was me going. You should have. Hopefully, it finally sent you permissions to be a manager on the channel.
I think so.
Okay, good. Because it's really hard to chastise you for not uploading content if you physically can't upload content.
It's true. It's true.
Don't blame me, man. It's your fault. So, but I guess it's about that time.
Yeah.
So I think let's just crash this plane.
Crash the plane.
Because sometimes the best way to finish is to just, finish.
Finish.
Just do it.
You just got to get there.
Just gotta do the Nike and do it. So
Do it.
Just do it. So
Shia LaBeouf.
exactly. Da-da-da-da. Thanks for hanging out with us in this episode, this 11th live and late episode of Just Doing What We Do. I don't know about you, but I had a blast rambling about life, games, technology, and, of course, the Mountain Dew.
The Mountain Dew.
I guess you were just drinking standard Mountain Dew, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously I'm rocking the Baja Blast because I bought this for the vacation and then accidentally left it in the fridge. So it worked out. But yeah, so the Mountain Dew fueling us all. We're professionals.
Yes, we are professionals. But before we professionally call it, if you want to see us do more of this,
screw up and botch.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around for more.
More botches.
Oh, the things you make me read. Because much like William Afton, we always come back with new videos, live streams, and whatever else we can think of.
Darn straight. Precisely. So you just keep doing you. We're just going to keep doing what we do. And we'll see you guys the next time we upload a video or go live. Bye.